Some people are born into wealth, some inherit it, but some people stand on rocky, barren ground with empty hands and build an empire that changes the entire world. Ingvar Kamprad was exactly that kind of person. Born in 1926 on a small farm in Sweden's Småland province, Ingvar's life was never easy from the start. The land around Agunnaryd was not known for growing crops, it was known for growing stones. But that same hardship was the greatest strength of the people there. Weigh every penny before you spend it. Find a way through every difficulty. Ingvar absorbed this mindset into his very being from childhood. Matchboxes and a big dream. 5 years old. While other children were playing, Ingvar was buying matchboxes in bulk from his aunt who lived in the city. He would come home, repack them, and sell them to neighbors at a slightly higher price. Whatever he earned, he never wasted on food or toys. One portion was saved, one portion was reinvested back into the business. That was his very first lesson. Money is not just for earning, it is for growing. A few years later, his mother's bicycle became his mobile shop. He traveled from farm to farm. Magazines, Christmas cards, vegetable seeds, and fish caught from the family boat. Slowly, people began to recognize him, began to wait for him, and revenue kept growing. Eventually, he bought his own bicycle. But the bicycle was never the destination. It was only a means. The real destination was something else entirely. Boarding school. New place, new market. When Ingvar went to boarding school, for the other children, it was simply a new school. For Ingvar, it was a new market. Using savings from his earlier ventures, he bought wallets, pens, belts, and watches. Dorm rooms became his showrooms. Classmates became his first customers. Ordinary conversations turned into transactions. And when graduation came 3 years later, Ingvar did not just walk away with a certificate. He had a vision, a hunger, and a gift from his father that changed everything. The birth of IKEA. 17 years old, one big name. Ingvar was just 17 years old. His father gave him the registration fee as a graduation gift. And with that money, Ingvar Kamprad registered a company, IKEA. The name carried his entire identity. I, Ingvar, K, Kamprad, E, Elmteryd, family farm, A, Agunnaryd, the nearby village. There was no grand factory, no glass building. It started with a rented milk van, loaded with printed brochures delivered to customers. Products were pens, watches, picture frames, jewelry. No glamour, only practicality. And most importantly, everything priced for the person who wants to spend their hard-earned money wisely. Furniture, the real turning point. Ingvar saw that people's needs stretched far beyond matchboxes and pens. People needed homes. Homes needed furniture. Furniture that was durable, looked good, and did not drain the wallet. In 1948, furniture was added to the catalog. By 1951, the first official IKEA catalog was released, and this time, furniture was its soul. But customers had doubts. How can quality be good at such low prices? Ingvar's answer was simple. See for yourself. Inside an old workshop in Älmhult, Sweden, IKEA's first showroom was opened. Now customers could touch, sit on, and judge the furniture for themselves. In 1958, IKEA's first physical store opened. An idea had now become a solid reality. The moment that changed everything. The birth of Flatpack. In the beginning, furniture was sold fully assembled. Heavy, bulky, expensive to transport. Then one day, IKEA designer Gillis Lundgren ran into a seemingly small problem. A table would not fit into the boot of his car. He removed the table's legs, and it fit in easily. That one moment changed IKEA's entire identity. Why ship furniture assembled? Ship it in parts, cheaper and easier. That idea became Flatpack furniture. The first product was the Lovit table in 1956. Shipping became cheaper, selling became simpler, and IKEA stepped into an entirely different league. When suppliers turned away, Ingvar built his own factory. IKEA's low pricing made the industry uncomfortable. Suppliers began boycotting one by one. They assumed Ingvar would back down, but Ingvar did the opposite. Fine, we will make it ourselves. IKEA took over its own design, manufacturing, display, and packaging, everything. Vertical integration gave the company complete control. Control preserved quality. Quality kept prices low, and low prices kept customers loyal. When domestic suppliers shut their doors, Ingvar crossed borders and built international partnerships. A forced necessity became the very first step toward global expansion.
The observation that became a big move. Ingvar noticed customers would spend hours wandering through the store. Then hunger would strike, they would step out to eat and never come back. Sale lost.
Solution? Put the food inside the store. IKEA restaurants are today world famous for their Swedish meatballs. A small observation gave birth to an iconic brand identity, a new beginning from ashes. In the 1970s, IKEA's flagship store burned to the ground. The loss was enormous. But for Ingvar, this was not just a disaster, it was an opportunity. During the rebuilding process, he redesigned the entire shopping experience from scratch. The new store that emerged was not just a furniture store, it was a complete experience, a journey that pulled customers in and never let them want to leave. From Sweden to the entire world. In 1973, IKEA crossed the borders of Scandinavia. Stores began opening from Sydney to Hong Kong. Every new opening drew bigger crowds than the last. By 1979, there were 29 locations worldwide. In 1985, IKEA entered America, the first US store in Philadelphia. In the Philippines, a store opened that was 730,000 square feet, welcoming nearly 20,000 visitors every single day. The journey that began with a milk van had now become one of the world's biggest retail brands. Not just profit, a responsibility too. What makes IKEA truly different is not just its products, it is its thinking. Profits are not poured into executives' pockets, but directed toward the company's growth, innovation, and social impact. When Russia invaded Ukraine, IKEA shut down all of its Russian operations. The financial loss was significant, but its values were bigger. IKEA has committed to becoming climate positive before the end of this decade. Investment in renewable energy is ongoing, and sustainable practices remain a core focus, the place where it all began. In Älmhult, IKEA's headquarters still stands today. A hotel and museum have been built there, in memory of the farm boy who planted a seed in stone-filled ground that is now spread across the entire world. People still visit, still feel the weight of that journey, still connect with that legacy. Today, IKEA is not just a furniture company, it is a part of millions of homes. From Swedish meatballs to Malm beds, its products quietly become part of the stories lived inside homes across the world. A boy sold matchboxes at the age of 5. Today, his name stands among the most iconic brands in the world. And IKEA's story does not end here, because as long as there are homes in this world and dreams inside those homes, IKEA's journey will continue. Thank you for watching. Rate this story out of 10 in the comments and tell me what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe. The next video is going to be even more interesting.